was conceived 4 years ago. That's before I became leader of the legislative arm. I'll give a short story about my experience and also an ongoing experience, basically from my own place, Bateren town. Every time I go to the village or to the town, I see a young girl I saw 2 weeks ago, so beautiful, so full of life, aspirations, ambitions, and all of that. I'll see her pregnant, and I'll ask, what has happened? They say somebody impregnated her. Where is the person? She doesn't know. She doesn't seem to know the person. That's been the story. We have so many that are giving birth to unwanted kids all over the places. And when you go to the town, all they do is beg you for money, and you don't have to give. They'll let you go. Sometimes, if you have to, I don't mean to say this, but if you do it for little or nothing, that's the order of happening. There's no other way to describe prostitution. If we have to call it spade by its real name, there's no other way to describe prostitution other than a young girl sleeping with more than 1 or 2 men. Unfortunately, some of my kid sisters in our towns, they've got no choice. They've got no choice but to do it to survive. They live frustrated and say, please, enjoy your life, let me enjoy my life. Even where the headquarters of our local government is, the Ogbejo, I see more than 1/10 of what I'm talking about. I have to use the privilege that I have as leader of the house, with the understanding that I have about the local government, the local government fund, the local government structure, the local government capacity. Whether it is mandatory or not, because we have mandatory functions as stipulated in the 4th schedule of the 1999 Constitution as amended. But we also have a local government structure which covers the primary school level, and that is why we have the Local Education Authority. Going by that, I decided to take my pen to write on a paper, and I eventually drafted this bill. The bill is majorly to cover for the enforcement of the primary school level education for all our girls in our various towns. We have got to force them. I cannot be precise about the scripture that says, I cannot be precise about the scripture that should be plenary, where the job will be done. God will need everybody to support it for it to scale through the 3rd reading and then scale through the passage. And then we will all mount the necessary, soliciting pressure on the chairman to assent to it. This is the reason for this August meeting, is to ensure that we give zero excuse to the girl child. I want to go to school, but there are no school materials. There are no uniforms. There are no mark sets. There's nothing to go to school with. We want to give them this zero excuse. no excuse. And that is why the bill is a dual bill, where we're going, of course, engage the executive arm to ensure that incentives are relinquished, maybe quarterly, maybe annually, to encourage and ensure that the girl child is educated.
At the very grassroots, it's a privilege for me to stand here before you and share my passion and my little knowledge on what I know. I mean, so much has been spoken here today, and I wouldn't want to said so much. It's like they took words out of what I was going to say today. Education is very important to me because there's a saying, they say, teach a man, or give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. Education is the very foundation of any working society. It is the essence of anything that works. We can build bridges, okay, it go fine. We can build fine house, it go fine. But after some time, you go rotten, you go have to do it again. However, if you teach a child, if you train a child, you give them the possibility to build more than bridges, to build society that will last and outlive you. And so I want to seize this opportunity to encourage us, in fact, encourage parents first and foremost. They say that the parents are the first teachers of every child. The values that you give your girl children are the values that we have. In our short time, it's going to be 2 years in August, but in our short time here, I hit the ground running. Okay, one of them. It seems like we suffer a little bit of what I call a pandemic here, which is early child pregnancy. We have children as young as 14, or girls as young as 14 who are mothers, whose mothers are as young as 35, whose grandmothers are as young, ancestral pattern, and I go church, they go lay hand. You know, these girls are unable to further their education because nobody to stay with their picking for house, you know, and so they don't know how to read. They go look for one boy, if you buy house for them, if you do buy the open saloon for them. They don't and Warri Southwest, all the three Warris. We are privileged, or my husband is privileged to sit as pray for her. That is good, but it starts with educating your child at home from age 5, telling her that she's more than her body, telling her that she has a future, telling her that tomorrow the whole family furthers her education, not just to secondary school level, like already said, but beyond secondary school level, to university and beyond. And if she don't want to go university, it's not even bad safe. There's such a thing as vocational training. Most times everybody look at me and say, hey,